Energie AG und Wertstatt 8 darf ich herzlich willkommen heißen. Bitte um euer Briefing, und das sind die Margot Huber, der Christian Stein und die Karin Dietachmeier.
Hello everyone. I offered to do my briefing in English, so I'll get right to it. Thanks for having us today. We're super excited to be here. My name is Margot, and I'm an innovation manager at Wertstatt 8. That's the innovation unit of one of Austria's leading energy and utility service providers. With me today, I've got my colleagues, Karin, Christian, and also Hamid. So let's jump right into the topic. Our topic today, as we've already heard, is electronic waste or e-waste. You're probably familiar with the topic and some of the challenges, but today we want to give you a reason to work with us and to do something about it. I actually wanted to share a presentation, which I'm just realizing now. So I'm actually not able to share my screen. Is that something you could possibly change for me?
Yeah, let me just try. Here you go. You should be able to share now. Does that work for you, Margot?
Perfect. Yes, I think that's working. So let's try that. You guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. All right, then let's jump into it now. So what's the problem with e-waste? In a nutshell, the market for electronic products is growing every year. Everyone wants a piece of this growing market, whether it's on the consumer side, where people want the latest gadget, or on the producer side, where product life cycles are getting shorter and repair options are rare. We end up with masses of electronic waste that are becoming a big problem. In Austria, we're talking about over 230,000 tons of e-waste every year. This means we're not only wasting valuable materials that we're extracting, consuming a lot of energy, but some of them are also toxic and damage the environment. In Austria, we collect about 50% of the e-waste compared to what's generated every year. That's pretty good compared to a lot of other countries, but it still means we are not recycling 10 kilos of e-waste per person every year. So where does all this e-waste go, and why are we recycling more? Let's take a look at these two questions. Well, the question of where it goes is easy to answer. Ideally, in our current system, it should go to a communal collection point or back to the retailer. But more often, it ends up in a box or a drawer where it gathers dust and is not returned back into the system. In mixed residual waste, where it often causes battery fires in the disposal process, somewhere in a forest, damaging the environment, or it's taken or shipped to developing countries where safety and environmental standards are not as strict. Either way, it's not returned back into the system the way it should be to close the loop. The second question we looked into is why we are not recycling more. Why is recycling of electronic waste so difficult? And there are several reasons why it is more difficult to recycle e-waste than it is, for example, to recycle paper or plastics. People usually want to do the right thing, but it's often inconvenient to drop it off somewhere. People don't know about the available options, and that, for example, shoes could be electronic waste if they've got a battery built in, like some shoes for children do. There's little social incentive because it goes unnoticed and there is no policing. And finally, it really depends on each person's individual motivation. So the takeaway is we need to decrease the effort and increase the motivation, right? Yes, but before I continue with this idea, I also want to say that we understand there are many parts to the solution. In order to create a truly circular economy, we need products that are designed differently and last longer, more options for repair, and new consumption models like sharing and renting. We know that the earlier we start in the process, the better, But the idea of the e-waste box, with the idea of the e-waste box, we want to focus on the redesign of the collection experience. And that's why we need you, basically. We want to work with you on designing a smart recycling system for the decentralized collection of e-waste as a service. What do we mean by that? Well, we mean a box that is located in a convenient location, creatively designed, uses smart technologies that improve the customer experience and simplify operations. There may be alternative treatment options as well, not just recycling. It should have a smooth backend for collection, use fireproof and innovative materials, and there could be lots of partnerships that we need to cater for as well. Plus, it should be scalable into a network of recycling boxes. We don't want to tell you what it could look like, but we want you to start from a blank canvas and to challenge what's currently out there. So why should you work with us? Well, we can offer you an opportunity to help protect the environment and improve your karma at the same time. You will work with a motivated team that makes things happen. You can access expert know-how and support with your prototype. You can also bring your full expertise and have a true impact, and there's potential to start a longer-term cooperation. If this all sounds interesting to you, then let me give you a bit of an outlook over what's planned for the next 6 months. It will be an exciting journey that will take us from ideation and concept development to prototyping and presentation. Starting today, we're looking forward to hearing more about your ideas, and we're happy to discuss them through one-on-one meetings or phone calls. We're also planning an initial selection or kickoff workshop to set ourselves up for success. And then you'll have time to work on your concept, and we'll also be at the Future Tech Bootcamp. Towards end of June, we would ask you to share your concept with us, and we will provide feedback, and if necessary, make a selection before we go into the prototyping phase. This is our rough plan, but we understand that things will probably change, and that's okay. But what's certain is that we'll have a lot of fun doing it together. So if you're interested in working with us, stay until the end, because there's time for further conversations today around 5 p.m. And if you haven't done so yet, check out our detailed briefing on the industrymeetsmakers.com website, and please register there.